Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Previous video was about survival tips for specialists. If you haven't seen it, look at it because it's gonna help you out a ton. But this one is actually going to be about what is it exactly that you're looking for when you're setting appointments, when you're doing your specialist job, craft, whatever you want to call it. So essentially, specialist role is pretty much the same across all industries. There's just a couple of variables that change, and that should be provided by the business that you're working for, such as like a script, what is it exactly that you're looking for, and kind of like the SOPs for setting appointments and making sure the person's qualified. A good sort of structure that you want to have for setting people or figuring out if they're going to be a good fit is basically kind of like, I want to say five phases. Right? So essentially what you want to do when you either get someone on a phone call, or if it's a Facebook outreach, two-step, whatever, is 5 things, alright? So first, understand if you can help them in the first place. You understand their business. Basically what we're trying to figure out is if your program is going to be a good fit for their current situation, and if your advisor or if your business can help their business or their body or whatever it is. Basically, you're trying to see if their problem can be directly solved by your program. And then phase number 2 is actually going to go deeper into their problem and just trying to understand like what is it exactly specifically they're looking for in terms of help in business, body, whatever. Alright, so phase number 3 would be kind of like what they've done. So it's basically like a solution awareness phase, and just trying to understand if they're actually looking for help with the problem they're experiencing. Because if they're not looking for help and there's no urgency, they don't want to get on a phone call with you. Like, that's just the truth, right? So if they're happy where they are now, even if their business is failing and they're happy with that, you can challenge that. But keep in mind that the person is not quite looking for help. So, you know, it's like, you're not gonna ask for food if you're not hungry, right? So in this case, the person might be aware of their situation, but they're just like, they don't want to do anything about it. And you can't go into a person's brain and change that. If they don't want to do anything about it, let them be. Not worth your time, because there are probably people who are actually looking for your help, and you're just wasting your time on this person who doesn't even care, right? So again, just to remind you, phase number 3 is just figuring out if they're actually looking for help with this problem they're experiencing, which we figured out in phase 2. Moving on to the phase number 4 would be, this is more for the advisors, but it's definitely good to apply this for your specialist calls or specialist text messages, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever form of lead gen that you're in charge of, is figuring out the consequences of, like, basically, again, that kind of adds on to the urgency, and like, hey, okay, so I understand you're having a problem with XYZ. What's gonna happen if you're not gonna fix it? Like, are you looking to fix it now? Or are you looking to fix it sometime later? Because a person might have a problem with, like, let's say, with weight loss, and they're looking to fix it, but they're not quite looking to fix it right now. They have like a golf tournament in a week, and they're just like preparing mentally, or I don't know, like they're having a wedding, whatever the situation may be. I'm just throwing random examples there. But if the person has a problem, they know they need to fix it, but perhaps this isn't just the best time for them, again, you can't quite convince them that it's going to be the best time. You can challenge that and be like, okay, then when is the best time? Because I get a lot of people who say, connect with me later in a month. I do, and nothing has changed. So you can kind of probe, but don't be too clingy or too in their face. Just try and understand them. Be like, okay, cool, but like, why not now? What's going on that's stopping you from fixing this right now? Alright, so then that will basically give you an idea, again, if the person is worth the set, if the advisor is going to be able to challenge them into like figuring out if this isn't worth kind of dealing with right now. But if the person is set of like, I don't want to do it right now, I'm too busy and there's too much on my plate, family, dog, grandma, grandpa, buying a house, selling a house. You can't convince them. And sometimes it's not even like a mindset thing, sometimes it's just the consequences. So don't try and push someone into having a phone call that they're going to feel bad about, or they're going to regret it, or they're going to feel forced, because probably the advisor is not going to force them into doing something that really isn't the best time. So save everybody some time and don't put the person on the call that just doesn't want to do it right now. Phase number 5, and pretty much like the last one, so that goes after figuring out their consequences, if this is like worth the set right now. You go in with like, hey, I think you might benefit more from having a conversation with someone because they know a lot more about like XYZ that like the program that we have here than I do, so they can like do this and this and this for you. And really, like, your job here is basically sell the call with the advisor, with the closer, and kind of like hype them up. If all of those 5 things check out, then chances are the person is worth to set. Hope this helps. And of course, like, this is very generic, right? So each business is gonna have their own like nuances and twists and turns. So really, like, figure out for your particular offer when you're a specialist, figure out what is it exactly that you're looking for in terms of like qualifying, vetting, because that's gonna help you out a ton. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Should comment down below, hit a subscribe button, put a like, do whatever you want. Yeah, trying to get this girl monetized, you know what I'm saying? I'm almost there, but not quite, so I pretty much need your help. Like, yeah, so yeah. I just got a dog and I need to feed her and myself. You wanna say hi? No, she's asleep. I'm not gonna bother her. She was like running around in circles like a crazy man, so I'm just gonna let her chill for now. Yeah, you guys will see her in the next one. Stay woke, don't be broke. Peace out.